So yeah, thank you. And if not, I will ask my own questions. So we'll just wait 1 minute for people to write down their questions.
Okay.
Starting off, I just have one. So, what are some potential practical applications or implications of studying infant consciousness, both in terms of child development and clinical practice?
Yeah, thanks for the question. I think there are several practical implications. So one is, I just mentioned in the talk, that before the 80s, we didn't, at least the scientific literature was skeptical about infants feeling pain. So this skepticism resulted for many decades of performing surgery without no anesthetic, because they thought that any use of anesthetic comes with risk for those that are receiving the anesthetic. So the idea is that they, as infants, didn't have too much pain. They're not they have this hypothesis that they were less sensitive to pain, so they would not feel the same amount of pain as an adult if they undergo a surgery. So this, so what they did was to give the infants a type of anesthetic that paralyzes your body, so you don't have the muscular reaction of pain, but they are not actually the type of anesthetic they used to give. They not really reduce the feeling of pain, and they just now after the 80s they realize that actually infants undergo levels of pain probably in a more intensity than us. They are very sensitive. Probably their system react to pressure, might react to pressure as if it's a sort of pain. So probably it's the opposite. Probably they might be a little bit more sensitive than us to pain, because we can distinguish between a strong pressure and a pain. Although some strong pressure can cause some pain. So this is one type of implications, the way we, the type of protections we give to a creature when you know if a creature is conscious or not. I'm using pain as I said, a paradigmatic case, but you can think about many other cases. So the way we treat, the way we engage with a conscious creature, providing those creatures that are conscious with an environment, a niche that would respect the type of conscious experience that they are having, is very relevant. Okay, so we naturally do this with infants. We have lots of protections to the environment of infants, but once we know that they can have some sort of experiences that we didn't know before, we probably will rearrange the way we treat them. Okay, so for instance, we know nowadays that babies are very sensitive. They have their auditory system very developed at birth. So we start exposing babies all sorts of sounds that might improve their development. We expose, for instance, since pregnancy, we expose fetus all sorts of sounds and music, because we think that this stimulates them in a specific way. Okay, we know nowadays that we can use a lot of eye gaze, the way infants move their eyes, to get lots of information about the way they about what type of mental states or what type of conscious experience they are having. Okay, but okay, I was planning to have a very short answer, but the answer became extremely long, and I'm seeing there are other questions in the chat.
Okay, yeah. So the next question, you kind of answered it a little bit, but when looking at the baby's face, it was hard for me to distinguish between whether they were feeling pain or other negative emotions. How do researchers determine that the pain stimuli is directly causing the infant's reactions?
Yeah, this is a very good question. Okay? So there are nowadays some attempt to be more precise on a type of pain faces they can have. Some of them are more characteristic of pain reaction than other types of faces that could be rage or frustration or just some kind of disgust they might have. But the best way is to combine face expression with other types of behavior expression, okay? So there are different types of crying. Not all crying are pain crying. Okay? There are some specific a way that the baby will cry that indicate there's more close to indicate pain experience than other type of crying. You can also see the way they react with the body. If there are behaviors, an attempt to avoid some noxious stimulus. So avoidance behavior is very relevant. Okay, so if you are giving some sort of noxious stimulus for the limb, if the baby tries to retract the limb to avoid that stimulus, is an indication of pain or discomfort associated to the limb. So you might need to use all those type of behaviors to make the case that this type of stimulus is causing pain to the infants. And you can also have, as I said in the talk, you can also add the neurobiological evidence, some brain activation that can give you an indication that the stimulus is painful.
Okay, so next question. Does your research about infant consciousness affect the basis of abortion, criminalization, or decriminalization arguments?
Yeah, this is a very good question. So I started the talk a little bit about moral status, and the value of consciousness. So so we think that if a creature is conscious, creatures deserve a special moral status, because having a conscious experience is first, you think that there is some value associated to have conscious experiences, but you also think that if you are a conscious creatures, you also you will be also able to have interest. So it matters for you if you suffer or not. Okay. If you are an unconscious creature, a zombie with no conscious experience, it doesn't matter for you if you're undergoing a certain kind of experience or not, because there is no feeling associated. Okay. So there is some discussion about emergence of conscious, when in our development conscious emerges. Okay. So this so there are two important facts about conscious in fetus. One discussion is whether they have the capacity. They might have the capacity, but they might not be deploying the capacity. So there is one evidence that fetus might be sedated in the womb. The amniotic liquid that protect the fetus from any that makes the environment in the womb specifically with a specifically context might prevent the baby the fetus to deploy their if they have the capacity of consciousness, to deploy the capacity of consciousness. So they might need to be outside of the womb, as happens when they are born at birth, to be able to get out of this sedative state that they might have in the womb. But this is also it's one hypothesis that is that one related to theories of consciousness. One theories of consciousness defend this hypothesis that the consciousness emerges at birth, because once you're born, you have to breathe in a different way. You start breathing or receiving oxygen through the amniotic liquid we have in the womb, and you start breathing oxygen through your own lungs, and this activates your brain a specific way, and this might give rise to consciousness. Okay, this is one discussion. But if you hold different types of theories of consciousness, you might think that maybe late stages of gestation, you might be able to have conscious state. So this is a huge debate. I'm not engaged with the rights of abortions in this talk, because this would require a completely different argumentation. But there is a connection between, at least it would change the way we would at least perform abortion, okay? There is also a discussion, we can still think that even if the fetus have any type of conscious experience, there is still competing rights, because the right of the mother is still will still be relevant in decisions around abortion. So the fact that the fetus, the discussion about fetus conscious, if the fetus is conscious or not, it does not settle the debate about abortion. Okay, the debate is much more is broader than the idea if the fetus are conscious or not, but might change at least our intuitions in the way we should treat. Even if you think abortion is still permissible, what are the consequences and the way we should treat fetus in those cases?
The next question is, you describe the pain experience as one of the classical conscious experience. What are some other examples, and has there been research to back them up as well?
Can you just say that what are the
Sorry, what? Oh, the second half.
Okay, so the question is asking about other types of conscious experience, is this?
Yeah.
In infants specifically, or on us, on adults?
I think infants.
In infants, yeah. So I have another paper where I call the paper Varieties of Conscious Experience in Infants. So I'm interested in the variety of all the types of conscious experience that they can have. So for sure, they have similar, different from other types of animals, they have similar perceptual apparatus as us, okay? So they're capable to feel smell, to hear voices, to see objects, although the visual system develops a lot after birth, different from the auditory system that is very developed at birth. The visual system is still developing, so probably they see things in a very blurry way, and they don't have depth perception at birth. So everything is very, they need to see things very close to their eyes. But I think you can still claim that they have conscious visual experience, although the type of conscious experience might be different for us. So perceptual experience, I think, is they have tactile. If they feel pain, they have also tactile experience. They have taste experience. They can feel different type of taste of sweet and salty and and different types of taste. But there are other more interesting cases that they might not have. For instance, we adults, we have lots of imaginative experience. And there is a huge discussion when imagination, the capacity to have visual imagery is developed. The other discussion is around cognitive experience. So we are capable to have experience about our thoughts. Imagine when you are think about a mathematical equation, or you finally solve a puzzle that you have been thinking many hours in your day. You have this, oh, eureka! I discovered the solution of this puzzle. This type of cognitive experience they might not have. They might not have also our capacity to introspection, to think about our own thoughts, okay? We are capable to think, what kind of feeling I'm having? Imagine when you're undergoing a very difficult moment. Am I sad? Am I frustrated? Did this make me unhappy, or this make me feeling any kind of anxiety? This kind of thoughts about our own mental states, probably infants don't have, because it would require some kind of cognitive capacity that will emerge in their first year of life. So I don't think they have cognitive phenomenology. I don't think they have imaginative phenomenology. There are other phenomenology that they might need body development. So, for instance, they don't have the sense of walking, moving the space. They are not still movable. So probably, but they still have the sense of location in their body. I also think that at 2 months they have the sense of agency, of control, of some of actions that can change things in the world. So I think they are capable to try to grasp an object or to move an object and understand that movement comes from their own body. That is something that probably is very primitive. We'll need some cognitive development to have the full agency capacity we have. But I think around 2-3 months, this sort of capacity develops. Okay, I could go forever on this topic, but just to give you some ideas of what I think they might have and what I think they might not have.
The final question we would like to ask is, do babies feel different types of pain? For example, muscular pain from strenuous physical activity is different from the pain that a throbbing headache causes.
Yeah, probably if they feel pain, they feel different types of pain. What we don't know, and this is a very good question, what I think we still don't know is if they have the type of fine-grained pain experience we have. So we are capable to distinguish a pain that, okay, this is a pain, is annoying, something that is annoying you, but is tolerable. You can live with that pain. Or a pain that is extremely intense, that you know you have to stop everything you're doing, take care of that pain. Okay. So how fine-grained the intensity of pain is for infants, I think is still a merit of more development in pain research. Okay. Also, because they probably have, they might have a more what we call coarse grain pain, like areas that are activated, but we might need some sort of cognition to be able to learn to distinguish some sort of pain, okay? And we have different, it depends on the type of, in the location of our bodies, that a headache's different from a toothache, that is different from broke your leg, for if you break your leg, okay? That is different from a kind of pressure you have. There are some type of pain that we might need some type of experience to be able to develop some more fine-grained distinction, okay? But they are capable probably to make some coarse-grained distinctions, okay? If a pain is something that is just itchy and annoying, or a pain that is very intense, okay, you can distinguish some crying that is the baby might have some very little crying for some things, or a huge crying for something that is a huge pain, okay? So I think intensity, duration, and location, they might distinguish. But there are other fine-grained distinctions that we adults make that might require brain development, experiences, and some cognitive learning that they still don't have. And I didn't mention emotional pain, that are probably something that it develops later.
Oh, okay, because that was going to be the second half of the question, which is, what about emotional pain from losing someone like a family member? Can babies recognize the pain of loss? I know that babies often mirror the emotions they see on other people, but can strong, painful emotions such as grief stem from babies themselves?
Yeah, it's a very good question too. In my discussion of variety of I didn't mention emotions, but emotions is another very interesting topic. I think baby, they have some basic emotions when they are born, but it's less in the same as in the case of pain, it's less fine-grained than in adult case, okay? So I think a baby can feel sadness, but I don't think they can grieve in very early stage. Okay, I think grief, it needs a little bit more of understanding that the object, the love object that you lost is lost forever. Okay, something you never encountered this object. So I think baby can feel some kind of frustration of an object, or that is if the mother disappeared, or some kind of sadness that. But I think it's they cannot. There are some types of emotions that we need to understand the context that the emotions emerge. Just get another example. Grief is one. Another example is fear. I don't think they feel fear in early stages of life. I think fear requires an understanding that something is a threat, or that you are in danger. Okay? They might be surprised for something that is they don't expect, because once you develop, you create many expectations of how the environment will behave. So our brain is generating lots of expectations. So something that you're not expecting might create a surprise, and you might cry if something is strange to you. But you need more a cognitive capacity to understand that something is a danger, that can have a threat for your life. So usually babies start at around 7 months. So a little bit, it requires a little bit of cognitive capacities to start identify through the expressions of their parents that there are something that the parents are afraid, okay? And then around 1 year, they start understanding that something might put them in a danger, okay? So it's something that requires those cognitive elements. So I would say that we start with more like coarse-grained emotions, and once our cognitive capacity develops, we develop other kind of more complex emotions. Another kind of complex emotions we develop through our first year of life is our empathic systems, okay? That might require some cognitive development to be activated.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Passos Ferreira, for joining. We really appreciate your time and I think we all enjoyed listening and learning from your talk on infant consciousness. And also, thank you for everyone for attending this conference, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Okay, thank you everyone. I enjoyed a lot. I love the questions too. Was very helpful to think also about my own research. I think there was one. Is there a way I could have a copy of the chat with all the questions?
Oh yeah, I just that's what I was just doing. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send them to you soon.
Okay, so thank you very much. Have a good day, and it was a pleasure to speak to you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good job, Akshay.
Yay! Okay, well, everyone left. Okay, Minso, have you talked to Aki about the math modeling yet?
I don't know if there's much we can do because all we have right now is like the quantification, like how much PHB was secreted. We don't really have like, because I was thinking of modeling trends, but we don't have like the amounts over time, and we don't really have like the initial like input, the mass of the input. So I don't know if there's much we can do as of now.
Okay, then we just get rid of the modeling page then.
Is it like a requirement or is it just like extra?
No. And who's writing the results page?
By the way, results page isn't a requirement.
Oh my God. Just because it isn't a requirement doesn't mean it. Okay, we can prioritize it later. We can prioritize it later. Focus on the stuff that's like actually required.
Yeah, but like you guys are gonna make sure that happens, right?
Yeah. I understand it's important, but we can do it later, so it's okay.
Okay.
Required.
Does anyone have any updates on the contribution?
The contribution hasn't been worked on.
Yeah, I was gonna do contribution stuff, but parts stuff I know
No,
best.
you guys have to do parts first.
Yeah, I know I have to do parts, so I'm gonna prioritize parts.
Wait. Parts page isn't even like a requirement either. It's
What
just
the
you have to submit the part to the registry.
Yeah.
Like it's not something you have to. I mean, we can.
I mean, I think you should. Just because something's not a requirement doesn't mean like you don't do it.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's prioritizing, you know.
Yeah, it depends what you guys want to prioritize first.
That's
So
a very fair point.
okay, moving forward. Akshay, I'll send. Wait, actually, I think I can. Actually, can you send all of the videos to Rui, and then Rui, can you post it on YouTube, like the recorded calls, and then we'll stick the links of the recorded calls onto our wiki for education, and then our education page is done. Cool.
So are you going to send it to me and then I send it to him? Or are you going
Yeah,
to
because then you have all of them, so you can just send it in like a file or something to Rui.
Just upload it to like a folder in the drive or something, and you can send me the folder.
Yeah. What else are they gonna say? I think that's it. Does everyone? Oh, Maya, is she here? Can you read the project description for the bioplastic part, like the top? No? Okay, that's fine. Just someone, can you read it? Because I'm pretty sure like some parts of it's wrong, so I need someone to proofread it.
On where?
project description, like the top half.
I'm gonna read it right now.
Okay. Anywho, Sasha and Akshay will work on the food waste part. Let's have an outline like by noon today, and then we'll type it up and then we'll try to finish Monday night. Is that cool? Or are you guys like busy like today, like from now to noon?
No, I'm fine.
What?
I have to do stuff like right before noon, but can I do it like at 3 or something?
Yeah. It's just Sasha and I will work on it, and then can you just start typing away? Because we'll probably have an outline by then.
Yeah, okay.
And Aki, when you're fixing the project description, just like fix it, just edit it, you know. But okay, I think that's it. Does everyone know what they're doing? Cool. Okay, bye.